Erin and Brandon. If you missed our last national park episode, we visited Grand Teton where we paddleboarded, hiked, and saw not one, but 4 moose. It's a moose. I see a moose. After 2 days, we still had one more night in Grand Teton before heading to our next park. Truly sitting on the side of the road with lawn chairs. That's what you got to do for your art. What are we doing tomorrow?
We're going to Yellowstone tomorrow. Everybody we've met on this trip just kind of says, yeah, Yellowstone, it's super touristy, way too many people there. We'll see if we like it or not. I don't know, I'm not like super excited. What about you, Ren?
I'm stoked.
Good. All right, put this away.
Okay, bye. We have had a very interesting last 12 hours. At about 1 a.m., we woke up to this sound that at first I thought it was someone trying to get in to the van. We quickly realized that it was not a human being, it was some sort of animal. It seemed like it was scratching, and we don't know if it was on the roof or the windshield or what. Brandon has crossed off the possibility that it's in the van, thank God. Long story short, it kept us up because every time that Brandon would scare it away, it would come back about 15 minutes later doing the same annoying sound, and we just could not go to sleep without trying to figure out what this was. I'm guessing it was some nocturnal thing. I really don't even want to think about it too much because it really grosses me out. We wake up and one of our tires is very low pressure. We filled it up the other day because it was a bit low, and it's once again very low pressure. We have a warning on our dashboard. So now we're gonna try to go into Jackson Hole to go to an auto repair shop and get it patched up. Hopefully we won't need a new tire, but maybe a patch job will do it.
Everything went well at the auto shop. It was like a 15-minute repair. The guy found a nail in it, and now we're on our way again. So we are heading to Yellowstone. We're gonna see Old Faithful today, and then we're gonna try to find a campsite before it's dark, because definitely not gonna find one within the park. So we're gonna have to head outside the park, hopefully to a national forest campground or something like that, where we can spend a couple nights and explore Yellowstone. We have entered Yellowstone and it's already beautiful. We just passed by this amazing canyon.
Wow, look at that.
All right, careful.
And I keep looking at the beauty around. I'm like, wow, Brand, look at that. Wow, look at that. And he's like, look at the road.
I'd rather not die today. It is pretty though, but careful, Erin.
So we got to Old Faithful and already there are so many people. It's overwhelming. I think after socially distancing for the past like 6 months, being around so many people makes me so uncomfortable. So this will be an interesting park. One of the most popular since it's the oldest and it's very easily accessible.
Because basically it's just filled with a lot of tourist attractions. Granted, they're amazing natural things, but they kind of end up being tourist attractions. Like we're at Old Faithful right now, and there's just benches all around, and I guess you just sit here and wait for it to erupt. Just kind of different.
We'll see how it goes.
Old Faithful is a geyser, and it's very popular because when it does erupt, it erupts like 100 to 185 feet in the air. Apparently it's quite the spectacle. We have no idea when Old Faithful is going to erupt again. We thought there was going to be signs telling us about when it should, but there's not. So we're just taking a loop around and hopefully seeing some other geysers.
In 1872, Yellowstone made history by being the first national park, not only in the United States, but in the world. Its land is unique in that it is home to nearly half the geysers on the planet. 500 geysers and also about 10,000 thermal features, like hot springs and pools.
What's up, Red?
not be turning around. Those people are way too close. You should not get between 20 and 30 feet of the bison, because on a whim it could just attack you. And they will. Look it up. Google it. That geyser is popping off right now, but one, I don't think we'd make it in time, and two, I'm not passing the bison.
That was really cool. We had decided we weren't gonna wait for Old Faithful if it was gonna take like 30 minutes or an hour, but right when we finished the loop, it was going off and it was so cool. I've never seen so many geysers in my life.
I don't think I've seen one geyser in my life.
It's actually like really cool to walk around, see all the other geysers. I feel like we saw like 100 geysers, and we saw Old Faithful go off.
It's just so interesting to think about this land that we're standing on and what makes all of these geysers, hot springs, pools become what they are. Feels like sacred. When there's no service in the park, we have to consult the map, do it the old-fashioned way. Our next destination is Midway Geyser Basin, also known as Grand Prismatic Spring, which is the very classic rainbow-looking pool. It's one of those spots that you shouldn't miss when you're in Yellowstone, so I'm excited. Brad?
I'm kind of a geyser guy now. Didn't know that about myself.
But first, a little lunch.
Pretty cool. We're wrapping up our day in Yellowstone, and now we need to find a place to sleep. So we're going to try to exit the park and find a campground outside. We'll see how that goes. We've never traveled like this before. Usually we have things planned out at least a week or two in advance. With van life, it's just day by day. You just kind of figure it out as you go. So we'll see where we end up. We found a spot on iOverlander that's randomly on this little turnout on this gravel road. I don't even really know where we are, but we're somewhere outside of West Yellowstone, and I think it's gonna be a nice quiet spot for the night. I hope.
Don't answer the phone, spending the days on my own, then repeats this for weeks to I don't care.
We took the morning to do some work, relax a little bit, and now we are at the Grand Canyon of Yellowstone. We are gonna head down to get a closer look at the falls, and it is super duper windy, hoping we don't blow away.
It reminds me of the Wiggles. What is it? Wilfred's Wiggles?
Walter's Wiggles.
Walter's Wiggles in Zion. Because there's like these crazy switchbacks to get down. Makes it much easier. stop in Yellowstone is Mammoth Hot Springs. For some reason, we were under the delusion that there was actually gonna be like a pool that we could swim in, and it doesn't seem to be the case.
I had my bathing suit ready. I just really want to go in a hot spring.
It's like we're surrounded by the moon, except this moon has hot springs and smells bad. This is the end of our Yellowstone adventure. We didn't hit everything, but I think we hit some of the highlights, and we're gonna move on to Geyser National Park next.
Yellowstone is so huge. There's about 2 million acres within the park. So obviously we couldn't do everything.
If you wanna see us going to all 50 national parks in the US, or at least trying to, subscribe, stay tuned, and we'll see you next week. We have got an elk traffic jam going on. This guy is not letting anybody pass on the other side. He's just staring down this car.
You could just see the antlers.
Yeah. They're everywhere. Oh my God.
There's so many.
It literally looks like a statue until it moves its
Yeah.
head.
Whoa. Such a good way to leave Yellowstone. There were 2 male elk and the rest were ladies. So the male are running the show around here. Taking the ladies around.
I don't know where I'm going.
Okay, we don't know.
You were like way up in my face. It's fine. Ray, can you take it out of my face?
One of...
I don't even want to be here. I just want to be in a hot tub. That's what I thought we were heading towards. There's no bears in Yellowstone.
Yeah, there are. There totally are. Have you ever seen any YouTube videos of bears?
That feels super lame.